Happy Passover! It's that time of year where we put away all the bread and pasta and crackers and all the good stuff, to be honest. And we take out the matzah and the kosher for Passover stuff. And we also learn how to say words in Hebrew with an Israeli accent. That's what we do here. We learn Hebrew with Israeli accent. The first thing you should know about the Passover celebration is how to say Passover in Hebrew. How do you say Passover? It's pesaχ. Pesaχ. Pesaχ is the Hebrew word. And how do you say happy Passover to somebody in Hebrew? We would say chag, pesaχ, sa-MAY-ach. Chag, pesaχ, sa-MAY-ach. This is the same way you would say for any holiday, by the way. You just say chag, the name of the holiday, and then sa-MAY-ach, which means happy. Chag is holiday, pesaχ, sa-MAY-ach. Holiday, Passover, happy. Everything's backwards in Hebrew, but that's okay. You're learning, and me too. Now that you know how to say pesaχ and chag, pesaχ, sa-MAY-ach, let's talk about some traditions associated with this holiday. Now, importantly, this is a holiday that commemorates the Jews' Exodus from Egypt, and it lasts 8 days. The holiday, we don't eat bread and leavened things for 8 days. Layl, Seder is the Seder, the night of the Seder. Layl means night, Layla, Layl, smichut. If you know, you know. But the idea of Layl Seder only happens on the first 2 nights. Some people do 1, some people do 2, but the bread avoidance, all 8 days. I know. But if you're thinking about this bread and if it's a challenge for you, typically what you do as a family or people in your household will take away all of the bread items. Go into your pantry, clean out the kitchen, anything that has breaded things, leavened bread, you just remove from the house. You're not tempted to eat all the Cheetos at midnight on the second night. I know what it's like. Leavened items has a word in Hebrew and it's cha'mets. Cha'mets is leavened stuff, breaded things that you're not allowed to eat on Passover. So cha'mets, let's go and rid ourselves of the cha'mets from the house just for this week so that we can commemorate this time of the Jews. Now, we didn't have the time for the bread to rise and during this Exodus, and so for that reason we have this crackery matzah, a food item that we in Hebrew call matzah. Matzah. Right, slight difference there, but just mainly on the stress. During the Layl Seder, we also have a Seder plate. By the way, Seder in Hebrew is the word for order. So the specific order that you go in, the specific order that you dip and put things in, and all the while, as you're looking at the Seder items, which we'll name in a moment, you're also reading the 4 questions and having a little service, reading from a book called the Haggadah, in English, and in Hebrew we say Haggadah. So you read from the Haggadah on the Layl Seder, and you're going through these items, and why do we have these specific items on the plate? Let's talk about a couple of those items. One is the bitter herbs. We call them bitter herbs in English, but in Hebrew, how do you call them? It's pronounced maror. Maror. Ror, these are rishas, are guttural kind of R equivalents in Hebrew. Maror, you could just say maror, but with an Israeli accent, maror. We also have a kind of appley, nutty, cinnamony chutney type of thing, which is delicious depending on which recipe you use. In English, it's referred to as haroset, but in Hebrew, you got to make sure you cha at the beginning, so you get charoset. Charoset. It's the most delicious thing with kind of a interesting name. And you put the charoset onto the matzah. The matzah, now some flavor. It's good. And so you have the matzah, you have the charoset, you have the maror on the Seder plate, on the Layl Seder. We're reading from the Haggadah. And then we have this tradition, a favorite among the Jewish celebrators and commemorators of this holiday, which is to take the matzah, wrap it up in a nice little napkin thing, hide it somewhere in the house, and have the little ones or not so little ones go and look for it. The prize, money, some reward, something fun to keep it interesting, and the game that we're playing here is hiding the afikomen in English, afikomen, which in Hebrew translates to not that far away, afikoman. afikomen, stressing the last syllable. Afikomen. So you hide the afikomen. Hopefully you find it yourself and get the reward. Come back to the Seder and have some fun eating the charoset, having some matzah, and of course reading from the Haggadah. As beseder, I think you're prepared for a celebration of this holiday. However you do it, there are lots of alternative ways to celebrate with a Seder plate. It doesn't have to be so traditional. Celebrating other communities that maybe have evolved the way that we commemorate this holiday. So enjoy the time with friends and family. Chag, pesaχ, sa-MAY-ach. Use some of your words with Israeli accent. And I'm going to go hide the afikomen. See you soon.